again, Broncos country.
Really excited to chop up some Broncos with you all this week.
Bourbon, Broncos, and no BS.
Is the time your favorite time of the week? We're not for the Raiders, Chargers, or Chiefs. So grab your brews in your fantasy league. We got that blue and orange blood that you bleed. The most loyal fans there ever could be. We are that mile high Broncos country.
Orange Weekly. Fans, brews, and Broncos news. What's up, Broncos country? Welcome to another edition of Bourbon, Broncos, and no BS. Tonight, I am here with the one, the only, David. How you doing, sir?
Oh, it's all right, Kevin. How about you?
Good.
Yeah.
My internet is working just as well as the Broncos' run defense did this last game. It looked, well, bear with me. We try to get that up and running.
Yeah, that is an apt comparison. It's sad but true because, yeah, it's in fact you may be getting more interference right now than the Broncos did in interfering the Raiders' run game.
That was good.
I mean, it wasn't good to watch.
Well, no.
And no, see, that's the good thing. Jared's not actually going to be joining us tonight, so I was spared having to say this to Jared's face. But now, see, Rich, he's got me here. You're right. The inside linebackers did not look good. I have to kind of eat my words there. It was bad. And it wasn't just the inside linebackers. It was the defensive line. Nobody was holding up real well against the run. There was missed tackles at the second level. It was ugly, guys. It was, I'd say it's the first time we've seen a running back of Josh Jacobs' caliber this season. But that's the thing. Josh Jacobs isn't that good against teams that aren't the Broncos. And so, yeah, I said it on camera. Jared said, "Let us ride," the other week. So, and we got that on camera. So now I owe him one back. And I'll say it on the pregame podcast for everybody who's watching. We're going to be recording the pregame podcast after the show at about 8:30 Mountain Time. We're going to be doing a special live performance of the pregame podcast. Everybody make sure to tune in on YouTube for that. And there goes Kevin. So I'm going to carry you guys through this one. It's going to be great. And I want to hear your questions. I want to hear your comments. Now, Red Cloud, the Broncos make everyone look good. I don't know if I would go that far. They made the 49ers run game look pretty bad, and it was a 49ers run game that looked pretty effective against the Rams defense last night. So I don't know that they make everyone look good, but not only do they make Josh Jacobs look good this week, but they tend to make him look good basically every time they play him. And yeah. I'm really getting tired of that.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. And when I was resetting it, you might have mentioned this. Red Cloud, good to see you again, man. David, let me just ask you this. In your opinion, do we suck? Where do we fall on that? You're an 0-4 team. You absolutely suck versus your 4-0 team. And man, you are just clicking. Things are just going right now. Where are we in that realm?
Here's what I'll say. Things suck. And yeah, there's definitely things about this team that suck.
Sure.
Do we suck completely? I can't go that far.
No.
We still have Patrick Surtain. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson played his best game as a Bronco. Take that for what it's worth. But
got KJ Hamler involved. A nice big pass down the field. I mean,
Jerry Jeudy got more involved as well. The tight ends suck.
Really intrigued by that.
Yeah, it's a bummer. I don't know what's going on with Alberto, but he seemed to have lost the coaching staff's trust before the season started, and there was, not a whole lot to make of it. But factually, just, there was like hints of him being in preseason games much later than the other starters and that. But now, especially I remember a pretty notable drop. Was it? I think it was in the second game by him. A ball that he should have caught over the middle and ran for another 10 yards, and he just dropped it. And ever since then, his snap count has just been decreasing and decreasing. And now, I think he's firmly at the bottom of the depth chart between him, Salbert, and Tomlinson right now.
You really think so? Wow. Man, that would suck. There's definitely a connection between Saubert, I think, and Wilson. You've seen two big catches. One was that touchdown in game 2, which was just beautiful. And then another big pass to set us up for another Russell Wilson touchdown. Was that this last week or the week before?
I think it was this last week.
Yeah. So there's obviously a connection there. Now, the weird thing is Albert O was only out there for 1 snap count. So it's not like he's out there and he's blocking and we're just not using him in the pass game. Like, we're suiting him up to only be out there for 1 play. And, I don't know. Like, what do you make of that? Not to be too speculative, but
I make of it that Greg Dulcich is going to get a lot of snaps when he comes back off the injured reserve.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I make of it.
Hey, look, history hasn't been nice to rookie tight end stats, but you got to start them eventually. Yeah. And if Albert O's not getting it done and Saubert, who's a pro player, like, I'm not saying he sucks or anything. Look, he's made a couple plays in 2 of the 4 games. But still, if he's the best tight end you have, then I think it's time to start the rookie.
Yeah, that's it.
Let's see. Get up to some of your comments here, guys. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Again, as always, if you like the Broncos, like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you're following us on all of our social medias and our YouTubes and all that stuff. So, but some more of the comments here. Red Cloud, because I haven't seen you in a while, man. What do you think, David? Do we waste money on Wilson?
Oh, I mean, Red Cloud likes to keep us in check. Red Cloud likes to say the thing, just to see how high we're gonna jump.
Is he the DMAC of the show?
He might be the DMAC. I don't know if he's the James Marilat sometimes.
God, no! I wouldn't.
You think that's
I
too
wouldn't
far?
say that. That's
okay.
That's
all right.
a
Maybe
mean
that's
thing
too
to
far.
say.
Maybe that's too far. There certainly is a plenty of DMAC comparison there. Every time DMAC gets on his soapbox that drafting any quarterback ever is the smartest thing to do in the first round, I just die a little inside. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about our quarterback. We're talking about Russell Wilson. No, we didn't waste money on Russell Wilson. It's just going to take some time. There are things that Russell Wilson is being asked to do in this offense that he has never done consistently in his career. I am consistently surprised every time I see Russell Wilson pass over the middle at all. And he does it like 3 to 5 times a game. And he would do it like 3 to 5 times a season previously. Yeah. He is clearly trying to play within the offense. He's trying to do his best to adapt to a system that he doesn't know. And it's not a perfect marriage right now. And it's going to be a while before it is. And frankly, this team is not complete enough, I think, to compete right away. And I mean, and now I think that's where a lot of the anger at Russell Wilson is coming from. Yeah. Because I think we all believed that it was a Russell Wilson level quarterback away from being ready to compete for, AFC West titles. And
if you had a head coach that had been in place for 10 years with a very solid system that all the players understood and knew, and yeah, maybe, but that wasn't the case.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just, and so that's it. I think in this past game, speaking of misdirected anger, I think there might be a little bit of misdirected anger at the offense based on the run defense's performance, which is not to say the offense was perfect. We saw the penalties bug come back in a big and very bad way. And we'll get into that a little bit more later, I'm sure. But yeah, it's just, I can't say that we've wasted money on Russell Wilson after 4 games.
Well, David, I appreciate you being here tonight, so I wasn't the only one. And as much as I love the idea of it being a David and Kev Dan show, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest making her second appearance ever on Orange Weekly. A not hungover Ayla. Not hungover Ayla. How not hungover are you today?
The sunglasses are saying something else. These
are new.
Okay, all right.
They have an emblem on them. They're not official Broncos. It might be a nail decal.
I see. They're very fashionable either way. Now, are we not hungover because we're nice and recovered, or because we're still drunk? Which end of the spectrum are we on? No.
The limits do not exist.
Okay. All right. I think that answers our question.
That answers that.
Yes. All right. Now,
just kidding. I'm fine. That's why it says not hungover, Ayla, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not being facetious.
Good.
I'm literally not hungover anymore.
Oh man. Well, Ayla, we'll get you involved here right away. Some comments here. Bill and I think what Red Cloud's kind of talking about when, saying, hey, the, offense sucks.
Red Cloud.
Okay, too much for, yeah, Red Cloud's awesome. But what do we think about the play calling, and where have we seen it go from game 1 through game 4? What have you guys seen, and where do we still need to improve?
I mean, David, you will literally know play calling better than me. But I think I can be on the side of the Broncos country that's like, why aren't we using Wilson more? And is that why we're having running back issues? Is because we're crutching hard on them? And you guys probably already said it because you're 15 minutes in.
No, no, we're not. We haven't.
I won't bring it up. I know Dez from Broncos Dummy is probably buried in tears. It's her favorite player.
She loves her some Javonte Williams. That's a rough one. That's a rough one.
I can't remember what she calls him, Boo Boo Bear or something. But
Pookie?
Oh, yes, Pookie.
Yeah, it's Pookie.
Way better than Boo Boo Bear. I think I reverted back to old. Doesn't matter. But I don't know, David, is that part of it right now? Because you do that better than 92% of us on the Orange Weekly.
Okay, well, all right. I mean, we'll have to check the numbers on that. What I think is that they're not working together right now. It's not all working in synergy. They're
not gelling?
They're not gelling, Ayla. It's not, there's elements of it that are working. There's elements of the pass game that are working. There's elements of the run game that are working, but it's just not working together right now. And it's a lot of things. It's the O-line. It's the fact that the O-line hasn't had continuity. It's the fact that we've been kind of going with a hot hand approach at running back. I think it's also part of the fact that, Melvin Gordon keeps fumbling the ball. It's now a part of it is that Williams is injured. And it's also the fact that, like we've been talking about, Wilson is not comfortable in the passing game yet.
Yeah, he's had a couple good ones.
It's getting better.
He's getting better. He's starting that engine.
It's definitely taking a step forward every week, whether it's a small step or not.
It's going to take time.
Yeah.
I agree, Anthony. I'm on board with that.
but the performance at least has been getting better from an offensive standpoint every week as far as scoring more points, moving the ball a little better. It's not.
I think we're doing like little ticks better, but man, that was ooh.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised that when you see things like when things click, there's a substantial jump in offensive performance. Like everyone just understands, everyone just gets on that same page, and it's just going to be night and day difference. I don't think you're going to see until after the bye week at the soonest. That Titans game, maybe even the game on November 20th against the Raiders again, but that's kind of, I think, the time frame we're looking at. But Andrew,
like by the last game, we're gonna win again.
By next year.
No, and it took time for us with Peyton Manning to their statistics out the wazoo of him not having the greatest numbers, and it's sad because the projective news when you watch football is having them pin up Geno numbers against Russell and be like, oh, he's outplaying him, and it's like, yeah, but is he though?
Is he really?
I mean, you guys are choosing a battle that like really that's just what news is. Like, let's actually focus on the Broncos part of it, and we are getting better. I mean, we did beat the 49ers, who
we held our own against them.
Yeah, and they just whooped up on the Rams. So I think there is a lot of good things to look at. And it does take time. I mean, nobody has started a job and been immediately good at it except for David.
Exactly.
Well,
no, yeah.
That's you got to stop.
Look.
You're throwing all these compliments my way. I need Rich. Pull me back down to earth a little bit here.
I will say, when David became the senior editor here at Orange Weekly, it was an immediate 100% success rate.
Oh Lord!
So
you got all right. See, all of this is all just passive aggressive
when
subtweeting.
He became our Twitter warlord. He does have a way with words, and that's a real thing. But he gets to do it. He gets to work on his own. These guys have to work as a team. He's playing golf and they're playing football. So
I am out here. I've never been good at golf. Anyway, let's pull it. Yeah, let's pull it out. There we go.
No,
yeah,
okay,
yes.
but seriously, everything takes time with the coach, with the staffing changes, we've got young men on our team besides like two of them. So Melvin Gordon and Russell Wilson, and now a third, because we just pulled the veteran running back in on our squad, which we should bring up. Yeah, Murray's going to come in. David, what do you think about it?
I'm excited. I mean, it's not all right. I'm excited. It's not. We didn't get a top 5 running back in the room, or anything like that. Latavius Murray, I think, is a good for what he's going to be asked to do. He's going to be asked to fill in on a team that has, midseason that has a gap. He's not going to be asked to be the lead back. And if Murray's a mistake, he's a mistake. If he doesn't work out, he doesn't work out. But you didn't give up draft capital to get him.
Exactly.
And he's probably going to get veteran salary, which is like $700,000. And they're not giving up,
No.
Well, and yeah, that's it. It's a low risk, high reward proposition. And Rich, I am hoping at least that we will get to see, as Igbo brought up this week, because there's varying opinions on whether Murray will be available. But to me, it seems like a big ask for him to come in and play meaningful snaps, on a Thursday night game, the week he was added to your team.
Yeah.
And then he just got back from a London game. So yeah, we might see a Zigbo elevated this week. So
he's on London time?
Yeah, he might still be on London time. I don't know about you guys. How old is Latavius Murray? That jet lag just
he's probably younger than me, so
well, that's fair, Ayla. But I mean,
I'm guessing.
he's 32, so
Oh,
it's
that's
not not that far away. And boy, that jet lag, it doesn't get easier as you get older.
No.
So
Yeah, but he is
No
going in the right direction. But no, yeah, you can't expect him to step up in the first week with like moments notice. But we do, I mean, Boone will be there. And you know what? Melvin is kind of showboaty, so don't count him out yet. He's still good. And now that Javante is out, that he might be like, oh, now I'm the star. I'm really not, there's not a competition. I am their star. And he might just, boom, go to the house. Like, we don't know. He has the ability to do that 100%. I believe in that. And sometimes those players who have kind of the ego driving them, when there's something that happens, they get momentum from within and they just, he has the ability, and this might be like shining star moment for him. Like,
definitely hope he uses this. Yeah, hopefully he uses this as fuel. Absolutely. Yeah.
Fuel.
I think everything you're saying there, Ayla, is correct. I'm going to add the perspective of after what happened this last week and seeing the emotion he had after the game. First off, to go up on the podium for press conference after that game in which your fumble definitely wasn't the only deciding factor in the loss, but a major factor in the loss. That says a lot about him already. The fact that he was even willing to show his face to the media after that, stand up there in front of those cameras. And then when you just saw him essentially break down, the emotion he has, I think it goes beyond just, hey, this is, I have a chance for me now. It's hey, I have a chance to not only show what I can do still, but move forward with this team. I'm the next guy up. Let's make something happen. So, Rich, you say, I agree with this first part, rush for 120. That's great. I think, you know what, if you listen to the post-game podcast, which we recorded Sunday night, so I was still very emotional, didn't have time to really think about things. And, I was.
Did you need my poncho?
I did. I was very, obviously, like all of us, hard on Gordon. And I said, you know what? I'm already counting him good for one fumble on Sunday. After watching that press conference and sleeping on it, thinking about it, and I said this on last night's Monday night Orange Weekly After Dark show, I'm backtracking on that. I think he's going to go out there and he is going to hold on to that rock and he is not going to have any fumbles. He is going to run angry and determined and smart. And I'm going to believe in him until he proves me otherwise. If he goes out there and he does fumble, okay, we got a problem. But for now, I'm going to 100% believe in him. And I think he's going to be a huge positive player for us on Thursday night.
Yeah, I like that. No notes.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sometimes like those shining stars that feel like they're competing for something, they shine a little brighter when they get their opportunity to. And he knows he's a talented person. The ego is one thing that's debatable, but it comes with the territory with NFL, and you've actually made it. But this just might be his open door to be like, I'm going to do it. Like, this is me now. So, I'm not going to say anything until after it's over.
Yep. And there'll be plenty of commentary on our post-game podcast.
It was our cool friend Andrew Young, the Mad Fanatic, who brought up some good stats with Walter Payton and Adrian Peterson of like, did they never fumble? And
Walter
if you
Payton
go look
fumbled
at his
85 times in his career. 85 fumbles.
86.
Now,
Adrian Peterson 49. Like,
I'll say in Walter Payton's day, the way you could hit players you'd be flagged for 15 yards.
Hence Adrian Peterson was 49, but still, like,
it's one, it's a thing, and I think you guys are right. I think he's going to be able to put the criticism to bed a little bit this week, but until he does, it's going to be a thing. because it's been
Right.
a
He
thing.
he needs to feel that he is our star because that's what he thinks he is, and power to him. He's earned it. He's in the NFL. We chose him, and now let him step up. I mean, Javonte Williams is amazing. Hope this injury isn't what. We'll just leave that at that. It's a terrible injury and tragic, but like that's literally the name of the game. Next man up. Gotta happen.
Exactly. Okay, hey, we're gonna start wrapping up our talk on Raiders week and move forward to the Thursday night game on the Colts. And remember, everyone, David is on double duty tonight. Him and Jared are going to be doing the pregame podcast live on YouTube at 8:30 Mountain Time. So about 1 hour from now, you can head over to our YouTube channel and check that out.
Fun.
And then if you miss it, you can still listen to it on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you listen to your podcast. So just make sure you check that out before the game. Okay. Couple last questions here. Here's a good one here. Oh, first off, I have some tequila while you're up. That sounds good right now.
Not
Bill
fried.
says, how do we fix the O-line? Several players subpar at best. So where do you guys take on that? I know we're still missing Quinn Miners. Dalton Reisner came back. He had one penalty. But overall, then we got Garrett Bowles, who is just bear hugging people. I wish Gordon would hold on to the ball the way that, Bowles holds on to players, but that's just me. What do you guys think?
Yeah, Garrett Bowles, I feel like has always it was always going to be, especially without Mike Munchak, was always going to be a high variance left tackle. As far as there's going to be a lot of good plays mixed with a lot of penalties, and that's just what we're seeing. So that's the way that's going to be as long as he's the left tackle. The rest of the line, it stinks that Billy Turner hasn't been able to come onto the field yet. It stinks. Cam Fleming is decent, but he's, a top end backup right tackle. Let's put it that way.
That's his ceiling. That's his ceiling.
And Rich was suggesting earlier maybe shuffling some positions around and getting Moody in there. I don't know. To me, I feel like.
Do you want to mix more things up?
That's it. To me, I don't know
at this
that.
Point, man.
Yeah, I don't know that mixing,
I don't know if they can
taking
deal with
people out and subbing people in. What's Glasgow's play done for you guys at guard this year to convince you that he's going to be better at center than Cushenberry? Because honestly, Glasgow to me hasn't been that great at guard either. It's been kind of, there's just a lot of blame to go around at the OL, and it's
Well, and luckily for Russell Wilson, he's kind of used to a terrible O-line. So at least we got that going for us. Not that it's a good thing, but he's almost used to it after the last couple years in Seattle, where it might have been a huge factor of why he's not there anymore. But that his mobility and that's why he does pretty much the countdown till 0 or 1, almost every snap count. That's just where he's at. But yeah, so I don't think moving them around, I think giving them continuity and just let them be in the same spot, let them work up to it. And I always had so much faith in Glasgow, but Cushenberry is, shown so much more to me. But I don't know. I think moving them around is a bad idea at this point in time until and Garrett Bowles, gosh, we've really given him
give him crap.
I'll
give him credit where he does well.
When you have a nickname that's Garrett Holds and just I don't know how to help him unlearn that. I
don't know.
It's just the player he is now. There's no unlearning it. It's going to be that's his career now. That's him from now on. It's the way it is.
If Munchak couldn't untrain it out of him, unteach him those bad habits and get him 3 years of Munchak as your offensive coordinator or offensive line coach, and you still couldn't get it to the point where you're on your fifth year with the team. Just like David said, this is the player he is now. No other coordinator is going to come in and do any better than Mike Munchak did, I think. So, and I'm not saying that he's terrible.
I just think
there's just one or two holding penalties a game that can kill us, man, and kill us in those close games. So,
but the penalties were better. Those are getting cleaned up slowly but surely. So let's not lose faith in that either, because the first 2 games, disgusting. These second 2 games, not quite as bad. Like teeny little thing. We got to take those teeny little glimmers of something that's improving. A couple.
But we're seeing improvement.
Things.
We're seeing improvement. It's not like the problems we had week 1 are still the main problems we're having in week 4.
Right.
And that's promising. Hey, really quickly, Clayton, thank you for the stars, good sir. Appreciate your support. Everybody who's here. No pressure. Don't feel like you have to donate anything. If you feel so inclined, that's awesome.
Yeah, right. All the pressure. You send us those stars.
I'm not going to pressure you. You might get other tactics from David or not hungover Ayla.
I'm not going to pressure you either.
I haven't decided yet.
But yeah, no, you get everybody watching. Definitely just appreciate your support. And if you want to do anything at all, hitting that share button for us, subscribing to our YouTube channel, that's a huge help all on its own. So make sure you go do that. And if you don't do it, you're pretty much saying, I hate the Broncos. Not me, but you, the person who's not sharing the video. So,
wow.
Yeah,
David,
Clayton, you're like a top fan, man. You're fantastic, dude. Definitely appreciate it.
Yes, Clayton, we are getting them.
Yeah.
Yes, they're all
No, we see them all, Clayton. If they show up as like when he puts them in the comments, it doesn't look like anything, but they're there. And thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you so much. Super cool.
Skipping over some of the comments, guys. I apologize for that. Just trying to keep things moving. So selecting the comments where I can, make sure we get everybody involved here. So the fact that we have a ton of comments is awesome. Just make sure you keep those coming in. Okay, guys, let's move forward. Thursday night game. Colts are coming to town. What are your initial thoughts based off of what essentially 20 or 48 hours from now is kickoff? So what you guys got?
Less than that now.
Less than that.
It's another potential big test for the Broncos run defense that just got. I mean, did they get exposed against the Raiders, or was it just a bad game that you bury? You light the tape on fire and throw it away?
The Raiders were super hungry for like a crazy win, and it was in Las Vegas. It's nerve-wracking there.
Their season was on the line. Yeah.
Well, let's see.
It's always on the line.
Because here comes the Colts and Jonathan Taylor. And I don't know if
Taylor's
going to play
this season.
Yeah, well, all right. But anyway, so Taylor's got an ankle issue, and I don't know if he's going to play or not. But even if he does have that ankle issue and he's not 100%, but he does play, it's just there's no time to regroup and get your heads together. And you've got another really talented back who is going to come at you hard, whether his ankle is 100% or not. So, yeah, we will see. And on the offensive side, it's, let's do all of the things. That's ground. That's the thing. Ground and pound and let Russ cook are kind of two different. But I mean, that is, I think, what we should really be getting back to. And I don't know that I agree necessarily that the run game has been horrendous all year. We're averaging 4.2 yards per carry. And against the Raiders, it wasn't great, but that was still kind of on average. We had 4.3 yards per carry against the Raiders. We only ran the ball, 17 times. 20 times. And we passed it 25. It's just, one of those things where they've got to start working together a little bit more in chemistry. It's not that these things are horrible in and of themselves. They're just, I don't think they're complementing each other very well right now.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. You know what? I gotta say, you gotta have some faith. gotta have some faith. I think these guys can go out there and have a rebound game. They're hungry for a win as well.
I'm guessing this
Andrew,
alleged Facebook user, which name
whoever
didn't
Facebook
pop up,
user is,
they must be in the Broncos superfan forum because they've all been talking like this lately. It's we're super fans, but we are gonna poo-poo all over our team, even though I'm an alleged super fan.
Well,
I will poo-poo on you for that one, good sir or ma'am, or whomever you are, whatever pronoun you like to go.
Not drunk Ayla, not hungover Ayla has spoken. Now, here's a question that I want to give you guys, both of you. Do you think that...
I do sometimes. That hurts.
Okay.
Do
you take any encouragement? I know it's kind of stupid to say take a fumble out, because you can't take a fumble out. The fumble happened. Mm-hmm. But if you did manage to go back with your magic eraser and take out the Melvin Gordon fumble, I don't think it's inconceivable at all that the Broncos score 30 points in that Raiders game. Mm-hmm. And for all of the talk that we're having of, there's issues on this team, and
and go back and rewind even further to the Seattle game.
Well, sure, I didn't
goal line, and just convert those. That would have been win too.
So they're making. I mean, that's the thing. So they're making progress at scoring in the red zone. They're making progress. Right, they're making progress in scoring more points overall. It's just. And I think they'll take another step forward against the Colts offense. I don't want to spoil too much from the pregame podcast, but I do like the Broncos to score over 25 points for the first time this season against the Colts. It's just, let's see if they can get more of the little things right. That's what I'm more concerned about right now, because I feel like when they start getting the little things right, that's going to be when the offense really starts to hum.
Here's something that I want to bring up to you guys and ask your humble opinions, because I think I won't say my opinion. We in the Pacific Northwest don't generally get to watch a lot of Broncos games, and yet here we are, and we have had games on TV multiple times going into week 5. Do you think it makes a difference if it's a primetime game that's getting televised? Do you think that puts a different pressure on the players in a good or bad way, or non-existent? Or am I just going all girl with this of being I'm on TV?
No.
Do you think it makes a difference?
No, not really.
Well, the psychologist in me,
David says no.
No,
look, you ask any player, they're going to say no. It doesn't matter. Yeah, does it have an impact when it comes to the inexperienced players and the type of person they are and how they handle pressure? Some of those players are going to go out there, feel maybe a little extra pressure. Again, it may not be on the forefront of their mind, but it's there, and their game steps up. Other players may, I don't want to say choke, but kind of have a freak out about it, have an off game. And I think there's a little bit of it there. Is it to the point where it's, a major factor? No.
Is NFL this strategic because we have Russell Wilson now that they're putting him in the limelight more?
Oh, duh.
Oh,
yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
of course.
100%. 100%.
Yeah. Well, there we go.
I think
the only reason we played Seattle in week 1.
Well, yeah, but there was also other big games week 1, with the Rams, there was other big matchups. They always do that. But we keep getting put into a primetime spot where it's mostly televised across the country. Now we're in Thursday night football. Pressure's on again after, which was a huge Sunday night game, because that's the rivalry with the Raiders for us is monstrous. It's probably the biggest in the division. I mean, Kansas City only because they've been so good over the last few years, but because we actually have more of a rivalry with the Raiders is why it came up Sunday. And then now we get turned into a Thursday night game, like automatically. The strategy with who plans these games.
Yeah.
I'd like
I will
to
say,
know.
I think if you're a team like the
I could
Broncos
probably find
previous
out.
years where you had one primetime game, there's maybe some more pressure there than if you're a team that, like right now, has a lot of them. I think
and Russell's probably used to
any
it, but like
pressure,
nobody else is.
But I'm talking about, the inexperienced players, the ones that haven't had those. Look, by the end of this season, these guys shouldn't have any pressure under primetime games. Early on the season, when it's all new to them, and this is the first time they're kind of having a chance to showcase their skills, and everyone says everyone's watching, again, it's the psychologist of me. I think they're just some, in the back of your mind, it's just sitting there. And
Improv actor, psychologist,
yeah,
Kev Dan.
I got a little bit of everything going on.
There
Got a little bit of everything.
There it is.
Exactly. Let's see.
I was just curious because it is a kind of a big thing. This is only week 5, and like I'm glad I didn't pay into Sunday ticket because I haven't had to yet.
Right.
That's fair. Let's see, Andrew, how you doing? Broncos will feed off crowd and should get the W. Yep. Still expect a close game because we trip over our own feet. Then there's still going to be some of that, some shooting ourselves in the own foot with some penalties or whatnot. But I like the fact we're home. I think it'd be a much bigger deal if we were on the road for this Thursday night game. Usually just the home team has a bigger advantage on Thursday night games than any home games. So I don't know.
And I'm such a bad analyst. I didn't even see where Indianapolis played last week, so I don't know if they played away or if they're leaving home.
Not Atlanta. Who they play last week, David?
Tennessee. It was in Indianapolis. Right. They lost to Tennessee in Indianapolis.
Yeah, so they lost a home game. So
this is the thing, guys. The Broncos defense is not, they're coming off a bad game for sure, but this is a get right game, especially for the defense, as far as I'm concerned, because that Colts offense outside of Jonathan Taylor is bad right now. Matt Ryan has, I think, 8 turnovers so far this season. Their offensive line is not good. It's worse than the Broncos. The playmakers are not good. They definitely don't have anybody like Devontae Adams who can run against this secondary.
Oh yeah,
it's a really good opportunity for the Broncos to shut a team down and get their swagger back, get their mojo back on defense a little bit.
Yeah. Look, there's a lot of ways this team can get their swag back. The defense, especially, you shut down that run game, you're going to be feeling pretty good, right? And look, for me, after, I lost pretty much all my fantasy games this week. I'm looking for a get right game this week too. And I might use a little extra help here to kind of make me feel happy again. I don't know. I might check out some DraftKings. I don't know about you guys, but okay. There are some things going on at DraftKings that people can look into, and I don't know. You guys want to hear about it? I got some information. I don't know.
That sounds good.
As the kids say today, debt.
What do they say? Well, guys, let me tell you what. The NFL action is in full swing at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. We are talking touchdowns, big plays, and even bigger wins. New customers can bet just $5 on any NFL team to win and get $200 in free bets if they do. Check this out, guys. In addition to the usual bets, everybody can boost their winnings with DraftKings stepped up same game parlays. Ton of games that are going on this weekend that you can find your favorite matchups. It doesn't have to be just the Broncos. If you're like, hey, this team is definitely favored to win, you can go all in on that. For me, Broncos versus Colts. Look, I think where the Broncos are going, I like our odds. So I'm probably going to be looking into that. But look, to make things even sweeter, you can throw down on stepped up same game parlays once per game day all season long. Here's how you get on this action, guys. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code TPPN to get $200 in free bets if your team wins when you place a $5 bet on any football game. Again, that's promo code TPPN only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details.
Nice.
Nice.
Very smooth. Very
good.
Okay, some more comments from Clayton here. Here's a good one. And again, not to step too much on the pregame podcast there, David, but maybe in generalities, but what are you guys looking for in terms of somebody to step up or an area we need to step up in?
For me on defense, it's Draymond Jones. And it was supposed to be kind of a big season for Draymond Jones. And it's really been very up and down for him so far this season. It's not been the breakout season so far that we all anticipated from him. I would really like to see a little bit more from him just as far as consistency goes. That's my player on defense. On offense, I want Cam Fleming back. He played really, really well the first 2 weeks of the season. He made that right tackle position not a liability for once, and it's just not been as good the last couple of weeks. Now, I understand you got Nick Bosa out there. You've got Max Crosby out there, and those are some of the toughest tests in the NFL as far as pass rushers go. But that's the way it is. There's good players across from you every week, and you got to step up and make a play. So those are my two.
I like it. Ayla, what you think?
Oh gosh, offense. I'll probably go with one of the bigger names that people are used to hearing, and I'm waiting for Jerry Jeudy to just like do his thing, because like, you know, he's got all the talk about him, he's got all the pizzazz, he's got all of the everything. That would be nice. And then another big name. I mean, Bradley Chubb's been doing his thing, but I'm like still waiting for like the actual turnover of it being like the Chubb show. That sounds gross, but
No, the Chubb show comes during the after show, and we're not doing one of those.
We're not doing
one of those today because we're on a quick turnover, and
That's
thank
right.
God, because I don't need to drink anymore. I'm already not hungover, so
That's right.
And nobody needs an after show of not hungover, Ayla.
No, it's almost 7:00 in the Pacific time zone. Let's not go crazy.
It is. I know.
Crazy.
Well, you know, it's 5 a.m. somewhere.
Cheers.
What
Cheers
they
to that.
say.
Yeah,
That's what they say.
That is
that what they say?
do say that. Some say that.
Is that what they say?
They say
Some
5
they say,
o'clock
Ayla?
somewhere, and
Some
they
say
don't.
that.
They actually don't say a.m. or p.m. So you know,
They just say
I
it's
can
5
make it
o'clock
up.
somewhere.
I can do whatever I want. Anyway, so those are my two big names that we're always expecting to hear from. Of course, I'd love a little bit more, and everybody knows I love a good tight end action. So
there you go.
that would be nice as well.
Okay. Hey, Andrew, I want to ask you this question just to follow up. You know, what are you looking for specifically that Hackett could do, and you would say, okay, that guy deserves to be a head coach? Just curious. I'm not saying that he's perfect. He definitely has some room to grow. I've seen him improve already. I think the communication and the speed of the play calling, the situational football, play calls have been really good the last couple weeks. And so I think we're getting there. But I'm just curious from you.
Well, I think the last week in general, when he was like man enough to step up and get a little help. And man enough is one where, you know, I think that's probably a terrible way to phrase that. But, you know, for him to humble himself and say, I actually don't know it all, and ask somebody who has more experience, like that already in itself shows me that he has more tenacity than our last two coaches have had. So I do. And it's exactly what we brought to, you know, this is a callback to the very beginning of the show, is like, we're so new. Mm-hmm. This team is so new together. There's so many new elements with it, and you can't expect it to be perfect out of the chute. It's never, nothing works that way. You need time. You need time to build together. And I don't hate the guy. Like, he has more vivaciousness than I've needed from all the coaches, in the last couple of years that would stand there with hands on hips. He has energy behind him. He has it. So, and willingness to ask somebody else for a little bit of help. Good on you. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Something you wouldn't see from Fangio, especially Fangio, but also I would not expect to see that from somebody like Vance Joseph either. So
Vance Joseph,
that already is a huge
Josh McDaniels,
positive.
who thinks he knows everything. I know. And let him have that one win.
See,
whatever.
I had Bad Mexican on Tuesday, and you say that name, and it just does not sit well with me. Like, I'm already like, don't go there.
Yeah, let's just call him. We'll just call him Sad Meals. Like, he's not a happy meal. He's a sad meal.
I like it. Justin here, head coach needs to stop calling stupid, dumb passes behind the line on short down situations. So, Dave, I want to get your take on this. My quick thing here is, just because the pass was dumped off, is a quick out or something like that, doesn't necessarily mean that that's how the play was designed. It could have been broken down play, really good coverage on the defense, and that was the quarterback's only out. So it's not like that's Russell Wilson's, plan to go with the short dump off route every single time. But I know I think, was it you, David, or maybe John? I can't remember. Somebody was supposed to out, Russell maybe needs to do a better job of not immediately going to that quick dump off route nearly as often or something like that. I can't remember.
I don't know. It's hard for me to assess particular styles of play calling in particular situations, especially when I don't have numbers in front of me to say, yeah, they've actually been doing a lot of dump passes on third downs and shorts or whatever. I don't know. Okay. That's as much of an answer as you're going to get out of me.
Hey, that's fair. That's fair. But hey, so for my, offense and defense, people who need to step up. Justin says Chubb is going to have to step up with Gregory going down. I'm going to take that a step further and say whoever replaces Gregory for the next 4 to 6 weeks, whatever that timeline's going to be, is the one that's going to have to really, really, really step up. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Cooper. I think Cooper has a lot of skill, a lot of talent, and we've seen really good things from him. I think he has to go out there and make defenses pay attention to him. And that's what's going to free up Bradley Chubb to step up and make some bigger plays. But look, if you're just double teaming Bradley Chubb the whole time,
they'll focus more on Chubb and give Cooper he's the next one up, right. Or they'll focus on Chubb and give Coop his overtime. He'll be the one to just like have his moment, and they'll be like, oh wait, we should pay attention to both of them now because we had no idea.
Yep.
And we had talked about that. We had talked about that a lot in the preseason of the depth of this team. So, maybe it's our fault, you guys. I'm just kidding.
No.
It's just football. I mean, injuries are going to happen. We could talk to Jason about that. It's just like,
right.
But yeah, maybe,
Yeah.
On the offensive side of the ball, I'm going to stick with, it'd be really cool to see just a little bit more from Washington on the offense. Like the speed he possesses, even if he's just maybe out there a little bit more often as a threat to the opposing team, the opposing defense, as hey, this guy's out here, watch out for him. And, I just like to see them. You don't have to get creative and fancy with it, but look, this guy has serious skill. And I think so
it's not like so predictable where we're going with it, or
right. Oh, he's out there. There's like a 50% chance that they're going to do something with him. If it's hey, he's out there. Okay. There's maybe a 20% chance that they're going to do a jet sweep or something crazy with him, or use him to go down the field. That's not as big of a factor for that team to consider. Right. So I don't know. I am really on board with the Washington train. The stuff he's doing in special teams is awesome, right? His returns are just so awesome to watch.
Is somebody waiting for us to say that we're that we're wanting Russell to step up more. Like, I feel like somebody's
I think that's a
waiting for
given.
one of us to like
Yeah.
be like, Russell needs to do more. And it's like, I mean, yeah, of course.
Well,
but like he is, right?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, and it's, at a certain point, it would be nice to see all of the offense get involved equally. But, we're just we just named one, Rich alone. We just named 1, 2, 3, and Beck and Saubert. So what, 5 total? Weapons that you want to be seeing used more on offense? It's all right. I get it. You want to see a diverse
by next year.
You want to see everybody. You want to see everybody else.
I would like to see the tackles being lined up as the extra tight end and catching passes in the red zone. I would like to see the defensive tackles being used as fullbacks and being given the fullback options. I would like to see all of these things. I want to see every creative, just everybody involved. Well, so
give it some time. I think we'll get there.
But I do agree with the underlying sentiment that a more balanced offensive passing attack is a better strategy overall. And I think we're getting there, guys. I think you're seeing it. I think you saw Judy get more involved in this Raiders game, last game against the Raiders. It wasn't just like, balls to Sutton all day.
I hope his footwork can keep up with his hands. Like,
well, yeah, he's got to stop dropping
and then
balls.
Do it. Like,
that's the thing. This no more of that at all. Yeah. But we also saw Hamler get the deep catch. He only had one catch.
That was great.
But it was perfectly schemed up. The ball was perfectly thrown, and he caught it in stride and walked in for the touchdown. These things are going to come. It's just, I think it's, like I said, it's more going to be a product, not of them just deciding, we're going to get this person more worked in. This week we're going to feature Hamler more. This week we're going to try and feature Judy more. It's not going to be that way. It's going to be, they're getting the little things to work on the offense, and it is going, the blocking goes the way it's supposed to on a passing down, which helps Russ get from his first progression to his second progression on a play, which means he finds KJ Hamler in a soft spot in a zone instead of having to just move to his check down because the pressure is coming in on him. Rich, there's another pregame podcast preview for you because we're going to say balls a lot. We're going to say balls a lot just for fun. Just because we can, when Jared and I get together, it's always a party, especially when there's balls involved.
What was that, Clayton? And I say gel, like hair gel, like it needs to come together. No, and I've they know I'm team optimism with it. Like, it's not together as I look today. Like, I'm always the one having ultimate Broncos optimism. I speak it. I live it. I love it. I wouldn't say I've learned to tone it down a little bit, but I've just become more mature.
Internalize it a little bit more? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I meditate on it all the time. And I've learned to deal that, like, it doesn't have to do so much with my game day outfit, which I used to be like, it was my fault. I wore the wrong color pants today.
The wrong hat, the wrong socks. Yeah, I'm right there with you. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I mean, I'm growing up, But no, I do. I'm the ultimate optimist when it comes to Broncos and with Broncos fans. Everybody knows I can't even read forums and everything. I can't deal with the negativity. Yeah. I don't give a rat's little booty about that stuff. Awesome. So yeah, when they do guys. Gel, come back to Ayla, Bo Bayla and be like, yeah, girl.
Okay, guys, we're going to wrap up here in a minute. I got a couple things here. First off, Andrew, yeah, definitely, man. So, guys, if you're new to Orange Weekly, this is what we do. Like, we're here about, just talking with each other. You may say something that I disagree with. You may say stuff that we disagree with. Whatever the case is, like, that's fine. We're all fans. We're all here to talk and just listen to each other. So I'll let you guys all read that. But and this is interesting because Jason did mention this on the show last night. Something that was kind of a worry for him was that culture piece of it all, right? I get that Hackett's going to stand up there and say the coach speak of this is just another normal game for us. But I think to really reiterate and really push that, he could have still had coach speak without, blowing it out of proportion. Like, hey, this is a big rivalry game for us. The Raiders are one of our biggest rivals. Like, it's really important for us to go out there and play our best game. Is that something to consider? I mean, look, there's a lot of behind the closed door stuff that we are just never going to be privy to. We're never going to see or hear or understand what they're talking about. But it's something to watch and see how they progress over time to see what this does. Anyway, anything on that before I go to closing, talk about the Orange Weekly lineup and stuff, guys?
Hackett's new to it. The more you live it, the more you know it. So for him being brand new and not having a whole bunch to say about it, there you go. He just doesn't. He hasn't been in the thick of it, and that's okay. Maybe that's good. Maybe a fresh perspective, and that's nice. But he'll get it. I mean, it doesn't have to be hate either. There's the other thing I've progressed in with football. It's like my hating-ism is I turn more into like strong dislike than hate. I don't have enough energy for hate anymore. I chase toddlers all day. So,
and this is the thing, and it's not going to be a popular take among Broncos country, but I think that Broncos Raiders is one of the rivalries across the league that has faded over the years and has definitely faded in the minds of the players to where they're just not. The hate isn't there. And I think you hear Bradley Chubb come out and say it during the week, but I really think that's more lip service to the fans than anything else. A lot of these players went to colleges together. They know each other. They're friends in the off season. It's not like that anymore. It's not a blood rivalry. It's just, it's an important game because it's a division rival. But, you see these players posing with each other at the end of the game, exchanging jerseys, and it's Broncos Raiders. And, you go to the game in Las Vegas wearing Broncos gear head to toe, and Raiders fans
nobody's going to jump you.
No, Raiders fans come up and tell you how good you look. It's, it's not the same anymore, guys. And I don't think to the players and the coaches, it's all that deep. That's just the way it is to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's I'll let him. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Well,
hey guys, we're gonna start wrapping it up. David has to get a little break in before we do the post or the pregame podcast. But really quickly, do want to pull up this for everybody's awareness. Our normal show schedule and where you can find us. Again, this is a condensed week for us. We will not be doing any shows on Sunday because the Broncos don't play Sunday. But we will do our pregame and our tailgate, our tailgate and our halftime show on Thursday nights, like we normally do for any other game day. And then we'll be back at it again with the post-game podcast and everything else normal after that. So make sure you check out all the content, all the social media, and then make sure you subscribe to all of those in the YouTube and give us some reviews and follows on the podcast platforms as well. Really, really helps us out. Appreciate any donations you guys send our way, but this is just an equally as important way to support us here at Orange Weekly. So,
and our fans are all the other piece of the puzzle. Like we would not be fulfilled if it wasn't for people watching the show and having contributions, all the insight, all the questions, every little thing you guys do for us. Like the fans are us too. You guys are a part of Orange Weekly. So thank you.
100%.
Thank you.
Okay, some closing thoughts. Ayla, we'll start with you.
I'm going to keep it optimistic. This should be a good Thursday night game for us to hopefully build momentum off of a couple weird things injury-wise that happened. I think we've got enough backup and insight. I think we have been chipping away at our learning and getting a little bit better week by week. And we won't let these things take us under. Russ, I think Russ is going to click in here. He's going to gel at any moment, y'all. Real hard. And that hair is going to be standing up just like something about Mary, straight up in the air. So I think, it's something's got to give to name another movie title. But yeah, I think we're going to do it. And ultimate optimistic, Ayla, that will be my next name on the show because I still believe in us and I love the Broncos 200%.
I'm going to go with, speaking of, just movies and stuff, Transformers 4, and I'm going to be Optimus Prime. Not just optimistic, but I'm going to be the Transformers 4 Optimus Prime. Let's do it. Let's do it. David, over to you. David's like, I hate you. You're an idiot.
It's not that I hate you explicitly. I just
explicitly.
I've never.
I didn't even know they had a Transformers.
I don't
know.
This is the thing. I've never seen Transformers 4, but it definitely now that Kevin says that he has seen it.
Nerdy, I love it. It's so
it just
Kevin
attracts
to
as
be
the kind of movie that Kevin would have seen.
I don't know what Transformers they're on. It could be
that disappoints.
What they're on, like Kids Bop 55 now or something. I don't know.
It's not like Fast and Furious 27.
Guys, it's gonna be a time of tempering expectations for us in the next few weeks. I think we were all really riding high. We all wanted to believe, and I think now we're waking up to the reality of. Yeah, it's going to take another season to build this team into something that's really a contender. But
we're not mathematically.
We're definitely not mathematically eliminated. No, and
if I had an Abacolt, I would be able to pull it out and show you.
And I still expect the Broncos to be in the conversation of the playoff. The graphic. The graphic they do at the end of this every season. You're like, oh, that team's in the hunt. Why is that team in the hunt? What? Oh, all right. I guess if this happens and that happens and this happens, I think the Broncos will be around that level or slightly above that level. With 4 to 5 weeks left in the season. And then next year we'll see what happens.
Let's not project that hard. So you're saying that we should take a deep breath and just look at week 5 and have this game this week.
Have your Colts blinders on. Don't look anything past the Colts.
Yes.
We'll get to there first, and then we'll go on to the next thing. Okay.
Everybody Thursday night. I'm super excited to see your live pregame show.
Well, I want all of our fans to post on our social media your impressions of your Colts blinders. I want to see you doing that. I would
say like this because I watch horse races actually, and they actually put the blinders up that way.
These are more goggles. You're right. No, that's not blind. You're right. These are more goggles.
You can't see side to side.
That's blinders. You're definitely right about that. So I want to see Broncos country's interpretation. What do you guys think blinders? Stuff. Are you goggle people or are you blinders people? It's a horse matchup, Ayla. It's Colts versus Broncos. It's the horsiest matchup you're going to get this season. So
you're going to do a little horse against a big horse.
That's it.
Ayla, I'll have you create
in our state. Yeah.
I think yes.
Ayla, I'll have you create an Instagram post for that so we can get some fan input. Awesome, David. Good stuff. And so Richie has confirmed that there was, in fact, Transformers 4, and Marky Mark was actually in it. So I didn't make up a movie that didn't exist. I have not seen it, but I stopped after Transformers 2. She's crazy anyway. She's too crazy for my... There's that crazy hot scale, and she is way too far on the crazy side.
I've seen this scale before. I'm like,
we're not going there. Look, guys, you guys all hit it on the head. I'm not going to repeat too much. The biggest thing I think that we all fell into the trap of the day we got Russell Wilson. The hype was so real and so huge that when we got in the season, even though we knew it and I knew it, we talked about it of, hey, this team's going to grow. It's going to be some growing pains. There's going to be some slow starts. It's like, hey, let's get going already. Like there's improvement, but let's see quicker improvement. Right. And a lot of fans were just expecting game 1 right out of the bat. Boom. We'd be beating Seattle 52-3 or something.
Nobody said that except
every game would be that. No, but I think there were some expectations that just Russ would go out there and just light things up right away.
Right.
And
we all wanted it.
Never.
We all wanted
it, but that wasn't going to happen.
Being, though. He is also a human being.
Exactly. And so it's like, that was never going to happen. These guys need to learn how to be around each other and read each other and get on the same page for timing and communication. Like this is normal, right? I'd be a whole lot more concerned if we were still getting delay of game penalties on us, and there weren't any improvements. And this was like, okay, we've seen the same exact thing for 4 straight weeks and it's terrible. And we're 0-4. Now we have a problem, but that's not the case. We're 2-2. That's a very reasonable ending to the first quarter of the season. And I like where we're at. So I'm ready for this game. Let's go out there, get a good home win before a little mini bye week as we get ready to play the Chargers on Monday Night Football out in LA. And yeah, here we go. So quarter 2 of Broncos football is coming up here. And man, it's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah. You guys are doing it live on YouTube, right? Your pregame. This is gonna
live
be
on
sick.
YouTube.
You guys should go check them out.
It's gonna be hot.
These guys know all the things about the footballs. It'll be good.
Mm.
I'll be watching.
Yeah, I'll be watching.
I hope everybody else is too.
Cool. Okay, guys. Well, unless there's anything else to say, appreciate everybody tuning in. Everybody who's watched the whole show. You guys are freaking-tastic. Love y'all. David, Ayla, thanks for tuning in. And I think we'll end it, as we always do, on a very strong Go Broncos.
Go Broncos.
Go
Take care,
Broncos.
everyone.
Let's ride.
Do what I like, yeah, I do what I like, yeah, I do what I like. Sipping goose, sip is right, and I go with the flow, yeah, I go with the flow, yeah, I go with the flow, cause I know I'm the show. In the zone, here I go, in the zone, here I go, in the zone, here I go, yeah, they know I'm a pro.